When my wife invited me to her office party, I had no idea it was just to make me a laughingstock. I never imagined that the woman I'd loved and supported for 8 years, the one I'd given everything to, would turn me into the butt of a joke. But that night changed everything. It all began a few months before the event. Claire had just been promoted to senior marketing manager at a well-known firm. She started dressing differently, staying out late, and constantly talking about her coworkers like they were her new family. I didn't think much of it at first. I was proud of her. I worked long, greasy hours as a mechanic, running my own small repair shop. I wasn't polished like the corporate men she worked with, but I always believed love was built on loyalty, not looks. One night she mentioned her company's annual gala. "You should come this year," she said, scrolling through her phone. "Everyone's bringing their spouses. It'll be fun." I smiled. "Sure, sounds great." She didn't even glance up. "Just wear something nice. Maybe not one of your work shirts." It was a small comment, but it stuck with me. When the night of the party arrived, I did everything I could to look respectable. I even rented a suit. When I walked into the hotel ballroom, Claire was already there laughing with her colleagues. The moment she saw me, her smile faltered. She walked over and gave me a quick, stiff kiss. "Oh, you made it," she said, like she hadn't really expected me to. Her coworkers turned to look at me, men in tailored suits, women with perfect smiles. One of them, a tall man who stood far too close to Claire, smirked. "So this is the famous husband we've heard about." Claire chuckled. "Yes, this is Mark. He's a mechanic." The way she said it slowly, like it was something to be ashamed of, cut deep. They all laughed lightly, pretending it was harmless. I forced a smile and tried to play along. Throughout the evening, Claire kept making little remarks that chipped away at me. "Oh, Mark wouldn't get that. He's more of a hands-on guy." Or, "He's not used to these fancy dinners." Every word felt like another stab. I kept quiet, pretending it didn't bother me, but inside I was breaking. Then came the moment that would change everything. During the toast, her boss raised his glass to celebrate the team's success. Claire stepped up to say a few words. At first I was proud to see her up there, but then she said, "I want to thank my husband for coming tonight. He might not know what an ROI or a marketing funnel is, but he sure knows how to fix a car engine." The room burst into laughter. She smiled proudly like she just delivered the punchline of the night. I sat there humiliated, unable to move. When she finished her speech, I quietly got up and left. But I didn't go home in defeat. I went home with determination. From that night on, I decided no one would ever make me feel small again. I threw myself into my work. I stopped seeking her approval and focused on building my business. I studied, worked, expanded my shop, and hired more staff. Within 6 months, I secured a partnership with a local car manufacturer. My small garage grew into a certified service center for hybrid vehicles. Meanwhile, Claire's life began to crumble. Her arrogance caught up with her. Whispers spread about her and her boss, the same man who mocked me. Eventually, he was transferred after an internal investigation, and her reputation was ruined. One evening, she came home to find me going through business proposals. She looked worn out, nothing like the confident woman she once was. "Mark," she said softly, tears in her eyes. "I messed up." I looked at her calmly. "Yeah," I said. "You did. I didn't realize what I had. I was stupid. I let people make me think you weren't enough." I shook my head. "No, Claire, you didn't let them make you feel that way. You chose to." She broke down, begging for forgiveness, asking for another chance. But the truth was, something inside me had already shifted. I had spent too long trying to earn respect from someone who didn't value me. "I forgive you," I said quietly. "But I can't be with someone who only sees my worth when everyone else stops laughing." A week later, she moved out. When she left, I didn't feel angry or sad. I felt peace, pure quiet peace. A year later, my business had flourished beyond anything I dreamed of. I was invited to speak at a local business awards ceremony. Standing on that stage, the same kind of stage where I'd once been humiliated, I shared my story, not to boast, but to inspire. I ended my speech with these words: never let anyone make you feel small for being who you are. Because one day, the same people who laughed at you will wish they had your strength. As the applause filled the room, I saw her standing at the back, Claire. Tears streamed down her face as she clapped. For the first time, she wasn't laughing at me. She was realizing what she'd lost. That night, I walked out with my head high, not as the embarrassed husband from that gala, but as a man who rebuilt himself from the wreckage. Because true revenge isn't about destroying them. It's about becoming so strong, so unshakably whole that they destroy themselves watching you rise.